Hey, it's me, Andy from potatoesandpearls.com, and in this video I am going to be attempting to make my Big Mom's pound cake. If you don't have like a southern background, you may not know that Big Mom is another term for grandmother. My Big Mom passed away when I was a child, but I do remember as a child we would receive packages of cakes and different things like that from Mississippi where she lived. And I happened to dig out a recipe of hers for pound cake. So I thought, since I'm in the house with nothing else to do, I'll go ahead and attempt to make this pound cake. So if you are interested in that, stick around. I will give a warning that this is not a recipe for people on a diet. This is a very butter heavy recipe, so yeah. Let's get into it right after this. This is why I said that this recipe was not diet friendly. It starts with 3 sticks of unsalted butter. So I had this butter sitting out for a little bit, so it is softened butter, and I chopped into cubes because what we're gonna do is add in 3 cups of sugar and cream the butter and sugar together to get this cake started. Next, we're going to add in 6 egg yolks. When you do separate the eggs, make sure that you keep the egg whites separate, as we will be using those later on in the video or later on in the recipe. You're going to want to add in 1 egg yolk at a time, and just like leave a few seconds in between each one. You kind of want to see the egg yolk get broken up. That last one I put in, I broke the egg yolk on accident, but that is okay as long as you have those 6 egg yolks. Next step, we are going to add in 8 ounces of cream cheese. The cream cheese was also sitting out for a little bit, so it is softened, and I broke it up into a couple of chunks just to make it easier to blend into the mixture. And then you just want to make sure that gets fully incorporated into the batter. Here I'm adding in the 3 cups of flour. We're almost done adding in our ingredients, but of course every cake needs flour. I guess except for a flourless chocolate cake. This cake needs flour. So 3 cups of flour, and I just added in 1 cup at a time. And once again, you just want to make sure that it gets blended in there. You don't want like chunks of flour in the middle of your cake. Second to last ingredient is the rest of the egg. Yes, the 6 egg whites are going to be added into the batter. You can just pour that in at one time together. You don't have to have like 6 separate egg whites. And I added in 1 tablespoon of vanilla off camera. So now that we've blended our batter, we're gonna go ahead and put this in. I believe this is called a tube pan, or I guess a cake pan, but it's like the longer, deeper one. I'm just gonna go ahead and dump all of this in here. It does fluff up pretty high baking, but I'll show you what I do to kind of even the cake out. You don't necessarily have to use all this batter, or you could also make like small cakes with it, but we'll get into that later. So once we have all of our batter in the pan, we're going to go ahead and put it into a cold oven. Once we put the cake into the cold oven, we are going to set the oven at 350 and bake for an hour and 45 minutes. And here is the fresh baked pound cake. What I'm going to do is cut off technically the top, but it'll become the bottom just to make this a more easy and pretty looking cake. So you see, I let it cool and now I flipped it over, and I'm gonna go ahead off camera and slice off the bottom of this so it'll sit nice and even on the plate or foil like I have here. And this is what the inside should look like, nice and golden and air holes, because you want the cake to be nice and fluffy, but still kind of dense because it is a pound cake. And remember, you have a lot of butter, sugar, and flour in it. I'm gonna go ahead and put it on a nice plate. A lot of times I will eat this with maybe some like apples or something, but I didn't have any fruit this time, so my staple is always Cool Whip. So I will literally just dip this cake in Cool Whip and eat it like that. I know, terrible. I need to take care of myself. So I'm gonna go ahead and taste a piece, which I already know is delicious because I remember this cake from childhood when my big mom used to make it, and it's delicious. I've already, at the time of making this, my mom already put her steak in half the cake. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And if you like food content and sometimes a little bit of travel, don't forget to click the subscribe button. It really helps the channel and it lets me know to keep putting out content. I will see you guys next time. Bye.